sharing pens can give you an infection. It's always best to use your own pen. Here, you can use this pen for the moment.
Thank you very much, son.
For what, ma'am?
Not for giving me the pen, but for choosing to be a responsible banking institution.
Let's be responsible to defeat COVID-19.
.15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe, assisted by Nilusha Jayamanna and read by Mario Vijayabardhana. The headlines. The Health Ministry emphasises that the coronavirus is not at a community transmission level. The rumours on the spreading of the coronavirus through fish consumption rejected. Switzerland commends the government's response to the coronavirus outbreak. Over 41,000 students will be admitted to universities this time. In foreign news, the US Secretary of State Pompeo is in India on his first leg of Asia trip. In sports rugby, England wins the 2020 Women's Six Nations. The head of the epidemiology unit of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Sudat Samaravira, says that although the coronavirus infected persons are reported, it is not at a community transmission level at present. He was speaking at a media briefing in Colombo today. He said that there is no truth on the rumours that eating fish would spread the virus too. The Deputy Director General of Health Services, Dr. Ananda Jayalal, said attention has been paid on conducting more PCR tests. Dr. Hemant Herat said that the neighbours of those who are under quarantine should not entertain unnecessary fears. Calling on Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa in Colombo this morning, the Ambassador of Switzerland to Sri Lanka, Dominic Fergler, discussed a number of areas to further cooperation between the two countries, including investment, exports, tourism and fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. The ambassador commended the manner in which the government is responding to the coronavirus outbreak by publishing clear rules and enforcing them. Prime Minister Rajapaksa said that while lockdowns and health precautions can be difficult on everyone, sometimes it is necessary to keep people safe. The Swiss government is providing assistance to Sri Lanka with equipment which would enable faster PCR tests at the airport. This is also part of a collaboration to try to revive tourism to Sri Lanka once the situation improves. The two delegations also discussed investments and exports. The cut-off marks at the GCE Advanced Level Examination 2019 has been released. The chairman of the University Grants Commission, Senior Professor Sampath Amartunga, said the cut-off marks were released this afternoon. 41,500 have qualified to enter the universities this time. The chairman said more students will be admitted to the universities this time, which includes 270 for medical colleges and 405 for engineering faculties. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The State Pharmaceutical Corporation has requested the public to refrain from visiting its Osusala branches to purchase medicine under the present circumstances. The corporation said that the public can get the medicine delivered to their homes by using their app, which has been introduced to each Osusala of the corporation. The Gampaha Osusala can be contacted by the WhatsApp number 070-190-2773 and the Minuwangoda Osusala by the WhatsApp number 070-190-2770. Once again, the Gampaha Osusala can be contacted by the WhatsApp number 070-190-2773. 2773 and the Minuwangoda Osusala by the WhatsApp number 070-190-2770. Minister Bandula Gunawardena says that the Meegoda Ayurveda Hospital will be converted to a national hospital. The hospital, which is under the Western Provincial Council, will be taken over by the central government and it will be made a national hospital. The minister mentioned this while attending a ceremony today at the Maharagama Shri Vajiragnya Dharma Ayatane to hand over medical equipment to hospitals. Minister Mahinda Amarveera says that legal action will be taken against people who have illegally acquired lands belonging to sanctuaries and forest reserves. He said that unauthorized structures at those lands will be removed. Minister Amarveera said that a cabinet paper will be submitted in due course with the Government Agreement of Lands, Environment and Wildlife Ministers. Minister Amarveera pointed out that it has become difficult to evict illegal occupants since specific boundaries have not been marked. It has been decided to bring lands that are not forest lands under the purview of the district secretaries. The Ratana Sutra is chanted from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. at all temples in the country. It has been organized by the Ministry of Cultural and Religious Affairs and the Department of Buddhist Affairs led by the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The reciting of the Ratana Sutra will take place to minimize the impact of the coronavirus and other problems which have influence on civilian life. The SLBC, the Ministry of Religious Affairs and the Department of Buddhist Affairs requests all chief monks of the temples to relay the Ratana Sutra using loudspeakers. It will conclude on Vap Full Moon Poya Day, which falls on Friday. The Bank of Ceylon, the National Lotteries Board, the Development Lotteries Board, Amrita of Dali Butler are supporting the program too.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Ministry of Health says another 130 patients who had previously tested positive for the coronavirus have fully recovered and were discharged from hospitals today. This brings the total number of COVID-19 recoveries in the country to 3,933. Presently, a total of 3,923 patients infected with the virus are being treated at hospitals.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight, a seminar on food quality and safety in the food industry will be conducted by the Institute of Chemistry of Ceylon on Wednesday from 8:45 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. through a webinar. The seminar is designed to target all those who are associated with the food industry. The program also hopes to cover topics ranging from food safety guidelines, rules and regulations, microbiological safety in the food industry, and toxic chemicals present in food and water. That was Watchlight, and now in world news headlines. The US Secretary of State Pompeo is in India on his first leg of Asia trip. The Belarusian opposition leader calls for nationwide strike. Tanker stowaways hijacking ends after Special Forces storm ship. The US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo landed in India today, the first leg of a 5-day Asian trip aimed at strengthening strategic ties in the face of growing Chinese influence across the region. Pompeo was met at New Delhi airport by US Ambassador Kenneth Juster. Pompeo is due to meet India's Foreign Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar this evening before he and US Defence Secretary Mark Esper hold a joint summit with Jaishankar and Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh tomorrow. Later that day, Pompeo and Esper will call on India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Pompeo is also due to travel to Sri Lanka and the Maldives. Belarusian opposition leader Svetlana Tikhanovskaya has called for nationwide strike action to go ahead on Monday after police fired stun grenades at crowds marching against the president. Ms. Svetlana issued an ultimatum earlier this month threatening a strike if Alexander Lukashenko did not resign. Protests have swept the country since Mr. Lukashenko claimed victory in an August poll widely viewed as rigged. 7 people were detained when military forces stormed a tanker suspected to have been hijacked off the Isle of Wight. 16 members of the Special Boat Service ended a 10-hour standoff which started when stowaways on board the Liberian-registered Nave Andromeda reportedly became violent. The stowaways, believed to be Nigerians seeking UK asylum, were handed over to Hampshire police on Sunday night. The 22 crew members were found safe. The ship later docked in Southampton. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. The US Secretary of State Pompeo is in India on his first leg of Asia trip. The Belarusian opposition leader calls for nationwide strike. Tanker stowaways hijacking ends after special forces storm ship.
Development News is brought to you by...
When Aya bought a motorbike, he bought 2 helmets. So sweet of him. I'm sure the other one is for me.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
The Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority has drafted a proposal regarding visa validation from 1 month to 6 months for tourists planning to visit the country, and the draft is to be handed over for cabinet approval. SLTDA chairperson Kimali Fernando said the suggestion was made to give a 6 months visa with an app consisting of all the COVID-19 protocols for tourists planning to visit the country after the airport is open.
When Tati bought a new family car, it wasn't just for the 4 of us.
It's a 10-seater van. Enough for friends and relatives too.
Ammi insisted on building an extra room in our new house.
Well, you never know who'll come to stay. We need more pillows too.
When I was studying late, Nangi would come by to help.
No, I don't know physics, but I do know you need a Munchie Super Cream Cracker.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others.
When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves.
Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
Sports News is brought to you by
Munchie Chocolate Cream Biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
In rugby, England has won the 2020 Women's Six Nations with 1 game to play after France failed to beat Scotland. France needed to win their final 2 games to stand any chance of catching England, but conceded a late converted try to draw 13-13 with Scotland. England, who last played in March when they thrashed Wales 66-7, has won all 4 of their games and lead the disrupted championship by 6 points. They will complete back-to-back Grand Slams if they win in Italy next Sunday. In golf news, American Patrick Cantlay posted 9 birdies in a 7 under 65 to capture the Zozo Championship by 1 stroke. The 28-year-old world number 14 began the final day 3 shots behind leader Justin Thomas, but finished on 23 under for his 3rd PGA Tour victory. Thomas made 3 birdies in the first 6 holes, but finished with a 69 to share second with Jon Rahm 68. In cycling news, Tao Geoghegan Hart became only the 2nd British man to win the Giro d'Italia as he took the title in Milan. The 25-year-old won Saturday's stage 20 to share the lead with Jai Hindley before the final stage, the first such instance in the race's history. IG's Geoghegan Hart finished 39 seconds ahead of Hindley in Sunday's 15.7-kilometre time trial.
Hey guys, we've got our very own Queen Bear here to review something for us.
Okay, here we go.
It's the right amount of crunch and OMG, so much chocolate. The texture is so good. It's creamy and velvety and just so much chocolate. The packaging is super cool and new and there's like so much chocolate. And OMG, the taste, it tastes like so good and there's so much chocolate. Like with every bite. 10 out of 10 for me.
Munchie chocolate cream biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. NSV Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
With the launch of the SLT Go Wi-Fi solution, SLT broadband customers and overall internet consumers of Sri Lanka will be able to enjoy Wi-Fi connectivity on the go via community Wi-Fi networks. This connectivity will extend to over 23 million Wi-Fi hotspot connections in over 25 countries around the world. Community Wi-Fi networks offer wireless network access to visitors and nearby users, thus creating a virtual public Wi-Fi network.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The wait is over and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the draft for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSV Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
According to a new report from the Asian Development Bank, strengthening the dynamics of micro, small and medium-sized enterprises with innovation and internationalization will be key to revitalizing Southeast Asian economies. Micro, small and medium-sized enterprises are a critical driving force in Southeast Asian economies, accounting for an average of 97% of all enterprises and 69% of the national labor force from 2010 to 2019. They have contributed an average of 41% of each country's GDP over the same period.
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And now for the weather report. Showers or thundershowers will occur tomorrow at several places in the north central, eastern and Uva provinces and in the Hambantota, Mullaitivu, Vavuniya and Matale districts. Fairly heavy falls above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places, particularly in the Uva province and in the Hambantota district. Showers may occur at a few places in the western and Sabaragama provinces and in the Gala and Matara districts. That was the weather report, and now the headlines once again of this news broadcast. The Health Ministry emphasizes that the coronavirus is not at a community transmission level. The rumors on the spreading of the coronavirus through fish consumption rejected. Switzerland commends the government's response to the coronavirus outbreak. Over 41,000 students will be admitted to universities this time. In foreign news, the US Secretary of State Pompeo is in India on his first leg of Asia trip. In sports rugby, England wins the 2020 Women's Six Nations.